Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what Indians are all about.
I still say we Indian people are believers in the truth. This is the way of life that was given to your people. You're born an Indian, you're going to die an Indian. Indianness is a good life. You're facing an Indian this afternoon.
Good Saturday afternoon out there, everyone, and welcome to your number one source for Native American television news, Native News Today. I'm your host, Jason Salzman, joining you from our Muskogee Media Studios here in Alt-Malgi, and we're coming to you on Saturday on Tulsa's CW 1219, and on Sunday, if you're watching this in Oklahoma City, we're on KSBI. So glad to have a big audience this week. We've got a great show, lots of content, lots of stories. We've been really hustling these past couple of weeks, getting a lot of footage and things going on. It seems like really it's picked up with story volume. We've been a lot busier, which is great for us here at Native News Today as we try to crisscross the state, crisscross really all the highways and byways, trying to bring you all those wonderful stories from Indian country. You know, a little note here today to start off the show, what I think is really cool. If you've been watching national news this week, they now have finalists for a replacement on the $20 bill. Now, why does this matter to us Indian people? Well, the guy they're trying to replace is Old Hickory himself, our great antagonist, Mr. Andrew Jackson, the man that really started Indian removal. They're taking him off the $20 bill and want to replace him with a woman. Now, why this is very neat for us is one of the finalists, one of the women that are finalists, is the first and only Cherokee woman to hold the office of Principal Chief, Wilma Mankiller. So that's very cool. We'll be following that here on the show, but I thought I'd share that with you all out there. Really neat bit of national news that I could pass along, and we'll have to take a look at that. Our friends over at Cherokee Nation, I'm sure they're following it, so what a great thing there. That would be neat to see her on the $20 bill. As I said, we've been incredibly busy this week. Went to Norman. We'll have a focus. We will have a feature on the Nike N7 camp from the University of Oklahoma. We'll also have some things from here in and around our area. So don't go anywhere. We're going to take our first break. We'll be right back with Native News Today.
We believe if you teach a man to fish, you can feed him for a lifetime. We believe that transitioning convicted citizens back into our communities enhances public safety. We believe that every citizen, even ex-prisoners, are important and are capable of change. We believe in reclaiming our citizens and investing them back into a culture that embraces healing and restoration.
We believe
in reintegration.
If you can just imagine that if you've been told you can't do something, you can't do this, you're not capable, you're not qualified, you're the wrong color, and all of a sudden something happens that says that's not true. I can, and I will.
It was not a game, it was a battle. That's what this game was about. Our people have endured and thrived under abnormal circumstances, and we always have, we always will.
We were part of the early founding of the National Football League as a participating club.
A full roster of just Native Americans.
This was quite awesome for just a little town of 2,000, 3,000 people.
But the bad thing is, nobody knows.
The Hominy Indians put together a football team that could compete at the national level.
This is John Levi, and this is our dad, George. 1924 was when John made All-American. His athletic abilities were excellent.
He was an equivalent to Jim Thorpe. It's unfortunate somebody like that wasn't given the notoriety that he deserved.
You can imagine football in that day with no pads and no face masks, nothing.
Back then, I think it was more of a impact sport.
The Indians just have that drive in them to compete because maybe they were always the underdog.
That couldn't be taught. It was just natural.
These were tough men.
Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible.
they won 26 consecutive games.
They just felt invincible.
They could do anything they put their hearts to.
The preparation, the people behind you.
These guys are giants, but we're going to conquer the giant.
Even his own family said it was just ridiculous. What are you trying to do, embarrass us?
They had a passion.
We've always been taught as a war group is that you're a team.
This was so much more than just a game. Now they had a chance to prove that not only were they capable of competing against the best team, the world champions, but worthy of being on the same field as them. Two great teams under one flag battling it out on the gridiron.
It's like a destiny, and that destiny is going to carry people's lives for generations to come. They decided that if they started something, they would go all the way with it, and that's exactly what they did.
Here's our time, here's our chance. Let's get after it.
And welcome back to Native News Today. I'm your host, Jason Salzman, as we get in now to our features for this week. And our first one takes us to Norman, Oklahoma. The University of Oklahoma hosting the Nike N7 camp for Native American youth here in the state of Oklahoma. What a wonderful day this was for all those kids there. It's now in its second year, and I talked to some of the people about this event. What's so neat about it is it's student athlete driven. They led the whole initiative to start this. They got everything planned. They said, we're going to do this for our Native American youth here in Oklahoma. And that's very great for us here at the Tribes to know that non-Indians, people that are at in these high profile statuses and places, are reaching out to help and come to our community and having us up to the University of Oklahoma. So what a great event, what a great day, and what a wonderful chance for me to go up and for Native News Today file such a wonderful story, the Nike N7 camp.
This is Sooners for N7 Youth Movement, and this is the second year that we have helped sponsor this event. Our student athletes, led by our Student Athlete Advisory Committee, have put this event on for the second year in a row, and they had a vision a couple of years ago, or last year, to bring N7 to Oklahoma, which is a Nike-sponsored program designed to inspire Native American youth to become physically active and live healthy lifestyles, to sort of expose them to and encourage them to engage in play and have fun outside. And so our student athletes have really gotten a hold of this idea and have showed up in great numbers to volunteer today. And of course, the planning that has occurred before today's event has been tremendous.
Well, it's just an honor for us to be a part of this great event. You know, this is the second time doing it, and you know, myself personally, a lot of my wrestlers are here to help out, and they will be here throughout the day. So, you know, I think this is just great. It's nice for us to be able to reach out to the Native American community and let them know that, you know, beyond high school, there are opportunities for them, and that's what we hope that they get out of this, along with letting them know that, you know, how important it is to stay in shape, and how important it is to do something every day to try to get your heart rate up, to stay active. And you know, I just think it's a great event and just really need to be a part of it. It's very interesting for me too to be here. It's just really neat.
it's really, it actually gives me goosebumps. It's really exciting. Our student athletes are really the energy and the work behind this, and for them to see their efforts come together in such a successful way, and to get youth out here that they can hug and care about and encourage and inspire is really something that they'll never forget. They oftentimes go to schools and work with kids in the community in that way, and work with kids in the community in lots of other ways. But to have kids come into their house, and to get to see where they work and where they play, and to get to sort of enjoy this environment, I think it's really something special for them.
It's one of the biggest things we do with student athletes all year. This is almost entirely run by student athletes, put on. The vision was brought on by a student athlete here. And it's a great opportunity to give back to our community, and especially someone like me. I'm from the state of Florida, and coming to the state of Oklahoma where there's the Native American heritage here, being able to learn about that and be able to sort of experience another culture and to give back to the kids here that have grown up in that culture is pretty special. The only time they really see us is on the field, is on game day from afar, and they'd be able to sort of bring them into where we are every single day and get to know them on a personal level, and let them get to know us as something that's more than a jersey number is pretty cool.
I pledge to embrace and educate offenders in an effort to stop their abuse.
I pledge to all women to love them, protect them, and teach them that violence does not belong in our communities and is not our tradition.
I pledge to take full responsibility for myself and the women and children of the Muskogee Nation.
I pledge to work courageously and audibly to fulfill this pledge for the rest of my life.
I think creatively, I was just into drawing for a long time, ever since I was a kid. It wasn't until maybe around late 2007, 2008 that I became aware of the graffiti scene. It changed everything for me. You don't even really understand in the beginning what kind of journey it's going to take you on, but I think that in order to become great at what you do, it really boils down to how you feel about yourself and how you feel about your own artistic creativity and your own expression. I think it comes from a belief in oneself and pushing yourself to the limits as far as you can take it.
Bumakasam gadat, ibufanga, nage, adigat, bunhayadit omega, ajayididet omis.
Diosnuk, that's true. Throughout the generations, our elders have taught us to preserve, share, and more importantly, protect the abundant natural resources we have here in Oklahoma. We are the original environmentalists and protector of these resources. The Muskogee Creek Nation believes tribal and state governments must work together to ensure future generations will have clean air and clean water as the ultimate legacy. What is good for Oklahoma tribal nations is good for all Oklahomans. Remember, tribes are truly the original Oklahomans.
Yugunikhwania mannakhwania yuyagamta ilaka man yuktun qala jagaput.
For me as an artist working in a visual language, which is, the Tlingit art, keeping the actual tongue alive is vitally important because it completely informs the art form itself.
They say the 7th grader was unfairly benched from her basketball game. Her mother says the girl was forced to sit the game out to punish her for using the Menominee language at school.
All of us, we're all over the world, we're waking up. It's a global indigenous revolution and it's happening now. These are important times. These are important times and we're not alone. We're not isolated in our villages of Alaska. We're together.
Somebody stood over me and said, "What are you doing for your people?"
Our generation is the last chance, because if we don't do it now, our first language speakers will pass away and our language will go with them. I ask people, what do you do if somebody who's really loved becomes deathly ill? Do you do everything possible to heal that, to try to find a way of getting that person's health back in balance?
Anatinia te hiha.
All right, I want to thank all the great people there at the University of Oklahoma for having us up. What a wonderful day, and something I know will continue as the years go on. Our next story really takes us into the month of April now, and as we look at April, it is Autism Awareness Month. And you can see here, I'm wearing blue, got my blue tie, blue shirt, because that is the color, and lighted up blue is what we've done here at the Muskogee Creek Nation. If you go by our historic council house all month this April, you will see that it has got blue lights up, all kinds of things going on there. That's because we are lighting it up blue for autism awareness. And with this next story, that's what it's all about. The City of Okmulgee, Muskogee Creek Nation joining in together for autism awareness, and really, having an informational meeting, but also something that's more meaningful is the walk. They're going from City Council all the way over to the council house there in downtown. So everybody joining together, where you're talking about the City of Okmulgee and Creek Nation for a great event, and we were glad to be able to cover it.
I'm actually just a stay-at-home mom. My son was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder when he was 2. He was completely nonverbal until he was 4 and didn't say his first sentence until he was 7. Life has changed a lot. We are a lot more aware, and we've slowed down our lifestyle a lot. I think he's like most 10-year-olds. He loves iPad and video games. He loves to put together puzzles. He can sit and work a few hours on puzzles.
This event here is Autism Awareness Day. So this kicks off the whole month of Autism Awareness Month here. So specifically, this is an event, a collaborative effort here, essentially between the City of Okmulgee and the Muskogee Nation government. So the two governments coming together here and providing a proclamation, recognizing and also bringing the awareness of Autism Awareness Month. Autism is a form of a social condition, if you will. A lot of parameters to that, but it affects every race. It affects every community here too. And it's been really a national movement, and I think a global movement now. So for us to participate only brings awareness to another condition that us as human beings experience with our loved ones, friends, anyone that may be involved in our community here. So it's great to do anything to promote these sort of causes here that affect everyone. So the symbolic nature of this again here is here in Okmulgee we have two governments that work together here, the city of Okmulgee and also the tribal government from the Muskogee Creek Nation. So again, this is just another event that shows the collaborative effort here, bringing awareness to a good cause for our community here of Okmulgee, the city of Okmulgee, and also our native community here as well too. So the symbolic nature is having the proclamation read by the mayor of Okmulgee, Mayor Steve Baldridge, doing that at City Hall, and then gathering everybody up and making a symbolic walk of unity, if you will, to the council house.
But now that he is getting older and with the therapy that he's gotten, we seem to be getting life back to normal now.
Okay, I want to thank the City of Okmulgee and the Muskogee Creek Nation, all those folks coming together to make Autism Awareness Day such a big success. Moving right along, also it is April, so that means also it's Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and we went up to the Capitol as the Monument Quilt. Now, if you know about the Monument Quilt, you probably are well versed on it, but for those that don't, this is something that goes around the country, and the quilt itself is laid out on the lawn wherever it goes. In this case, it was the Oklahoma City State Capitol of Oklahoma lawn there. So it's laid out, and the quilt is made up of all these stories, all of these testimonies of survivors of sexual assault. Very powerful to walk through and see some of these stories. And as you know, I really hate to pass along the statistic, but as you know, it's something that's prevalent in our Native American communities. So we have a great family violence program that was a big part of this, and we were happy to be there at the Capitol on such a special day.
Today at the Capitol, we have the gathering of voices addressing sexual assault in Indian country. It's our first gathering at the state capitol to specifically recognize sexual assault awareness, which is the month of April. We have tribal programs, domestic and sexual violence programs from all over the state here to provide information about their program and services, and we're acknowledging the work that tribes are doing in addressing sexual assault in Indian country, but most importantly to honor and recognize and remember survivors and victims of sexual violence. The Native Alliance Against Violence is Oklahoma's tribal coalition against domestic and sexual violence. I have the honor and privilege of serving as the board president, and so the tribal coalition was spearheading this event today, and the NAV, as we call it, the Native Alliance Against Violence, works to unify the tribes in Oklahoma and provide support and technical assistance and training to tribes and tribal domestic and sexual violence programs to ensure that tribes have the skills and the resources and the support that they need to be able to combat domestic and sexual violence. And so, as a member of the tribal coalition and being involved with the board, we're very active in the work that the NAV is doing, and so that's what led us to play a key role in the event today. have 21 awesome domestic violence sexual assault programs that we serve. We work closely with them and try to help them meet their needs in various ways. I think it's important to always have awareness events like this at our capital. You know, we're located in Oklahoma. We have 38 federally recognized tribes headquartered in Oklahoma. And so our lawmakers are here looking at legislation and passing laws that are going to affect the people that in turn our programs serve. And so we like having it here so that they can be aware of the high rates of sexual assault that we're experiencing in Oklahoma. 2013 FBI statistics tell us that we're number 6 in the nation for sexual violence, and that's unacceptable to me. And so I think, you know, here on the steps of our Capitol, we can have a public, unified voice saying no to sexual violence and hoping that our legislators are listening and enact laws that are going to provide services to victims but hold perpetrators accountable.
And that'll do it for another episode of Native News Today. Certainly hope that you've enjoyed the last 30 minutes as we've taken you in and around some of the things happening in Indian country. And I certainly know that we have been busy this week traveling the highways and byways. We went to Norman, we went to Oklahoma City, Henrietta. We're all over the place making sure that you guys have fresh content. We take a lot of pride in the fact we're the only tribe with a weekly television show. So we want to get that out there and make sure that all of our fans, all of our viewers, all of the people watching us know we're going to bring you something each and every week here on Native News Today. Speaking of, you want to stay hooked up with us in the coming weeks. We've got a lot of great things coming down the pike. We're actually, Willy Wonka style, we're going to go to a chocolate factory. We're also going to show you how the Muskogee Creek Nation has passed legislation recently to implement STEM programs in some of our schools. So definitely don't want to miss us here in the coming weeks. We're going to have some great material. Hey, before I let you go today, right now happening at the College of the Muskogee Nation Student Center, it's on Loop 56 there in Okmulgee, a benefit bingo fundraiser happening. They wanted me to pass this along. So it's from 1 to 3. Still got time to get out there. There's concessions, everything like that. Help them raise some funds there. Bingo fundraiser going on. It's a way to have a good time, fellowship, see some people, and have a lot of fun. So want to let you know about that. And also check us out on YouTube. Always, if you're not in our viewing area, you can watch our online channel, see all of our content there. Check us out on Facebook as well and Twitter. See what we're doing throughout the week when we're not on the air and we're just gathering stories. It's neat to kind of look and see the curtain pulled back and see the process and how it all comes together. So I want to thank you for joining us this week. Thank our Tulsa viewers. Thank our Oklahoma City viewers. Only statewide weekly Native American show. We're very proud of that. We'll see you guys next Saturday.